No, but you're funny as hell though, dude.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
good.
my name's on the wall. You don't want to do that 2 months in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would if you would have said 2 months, I would have erased your name off the wall.
Yeah, yeah. I would have helped you.
And I'm Brandon. This is BJ Cramer. And this is the fucking HotBox because this fucking place is so hot without the fans on.
Yeah.
BJ, thank you so much for jumping on, bro.
Hey, man, not a problem. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course, man. Hey, so before we do that, let's take ourselves a little shot of Magic Mind. Magic Mind is an awesome elixir that helps you be smarter and not so stressed out. And it doesn't taste like shit, and it's good for you, too.
You know, I've had one of these, and they're actually pretty good.
Bro, I take this. I'm ADHD, and so I take this on a regular. I don't take any medication, and this helps me, like, fucking just zone in when I need to do shit. Helps me out pre-workout. Cheers.
Gotcha. Cheers.
And, yeah, man, and I fucking, you know what? I've never had a comedian tell me so far about them taking this and then going on stage, but I'd be curious.
Well, luckily for you, I don't have a story like that. I mean, not an eventful one. I tried it, and it was like open mic, so I just went up and just worked out. And I felt a little bit more present.
That's good. Yeah, that's good shit, man. I fucking love it. I take it on the regular. All right, so let's talk about you and comedy.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, all right. So let's start it off. How long you been doing comedy for?
Going on 12 years?
12 years.
Yeah, going on 12.
Okay, good. I was about to say, if you've not been doing it for that long, we'd be having a problem. Yeah. No, but you're funny as hell, though, dude.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
good.
my name's on the wall. You don't want to do that 2 months in.
Yeah. Yeah. I would if you would have said 2 months, I would have erased your name off the wall.
Yeah. I would have helped you because I was like, I didn't earn it.
Give me some white out.
So what happened to here? It's like, fucker didn't earn it.
So 12 years, man. That's pretty fucking cool. So how did you get started in comedy?
My mom was a stand-up comic out in St. Louis. She was an improv comic. She was with the Laugh Master.
Okay, cool.
And they did stand-up as well. But I watched her take that stand-up business and kind of morph it into whatever needed to be done. You know, like she could go blue if she needed to, or if she had that freedom. But majority of that was just church shows. Okay. And I would watch her write material for these particular private church shows, and she would be on stage for like 30 minutes, and it's like she wrote for the occasion. Wow. And I'm watching that up close. So she's the biggest inspiration, and aside from her, it's like watching Pryor and Bernie Mac and Eddie Murphy and George Carlin and Sam Kinison. I was watching a lot of things I probably shouldn't have watched at 5 years old, but you know, it worked out for the best.
At 5 years old?
Yeah.
Did you just start screaming when you saw Sam Kinison?
No. Luckily, I didn't see Sam until I was like 17. Okay. Because like you go to these clubs and you talk to comics about their inspiration. Sam Kinison just kept popping up, and I didn't know anything about him. So I was like, well, except he died from cocaine. So, like if you're gonna go out, that's the way to go out, right 100%, there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just watched that first special where he was just in the trench coat and he was like talking. He was talking about like a necrophiliac in a morgue and like how does the corpse feel? It's like it never stops, even when you're dead. And I was like, yo, that's funny.
And he used to be a preacher too.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, who's your favorite comedian all time?
I don't myself. Of all
So
time,
humble.
Of all time, I'm not sure about all time. Eddie Murphy, his spot is probably my favorite of all time.
Yeah,
just simply because how versatile he was when he was doing stand up. I mean, 100%. He gave you the biggest stage performance ever. 100%. You know, he gave you impressions, he gave you stories, and he was able to use all of these different facets of the game. And like, don't get me wrong, Delirious is great. Yeah. Raw is like where you saw everything just working. Really? And it was completely polished. Delirious just took me off guard. It was like, holy shit. Yeah. Whoa. Yeah. And keep in mind, I'm watching this in like I don't know, 2014 when I first started, and I was like, you couldn't do none of this shit today.
No, you couldn't.
But when I saw Raw, and I still watch that special, it's like, because it's so polished and it's the material that's in there. Yeah, he got some stuff that's only relevant to the 80s, but in terms of men and women and how we view celebrities and what that conversation looks like and stuff about his childhood, it still holds up today. And that special was released in 87. Yeah, man. So
most people never say Raw, though. They always say Delirious.
They always say Delirious because like that's the first time. Yeah. It's like with the first Eminem gets a lot of shit, don't get me wrong. Yeah. And he's arguably my favorite rapper. His fans hold his first 3 albums in high regard simply because you remember that time.
Yes.
You know, a lot of nostalgia is built into that. Yep. You know what I mean? And anything that he does now is always going to be like, man, it ain't the first 3. It's good, but it ain't the first 3. Yep. So it's like if Eddie came back and released a special, no matter how great it is, people that were fans of Raw and Delirious are always going to be like, man, it ain't them. Yeah. It's like, how could it be? Yes. You're not young anymore.
Yep. That's true, man. So real quick, just to go back, your mom was a comedian. So you're second generation. Huh,
in a way, yes. I mean, she didn't make it. But it's just because she didn't want to. Yeah, you know, she didn't want to. You know, family kind of took over. Yeah, she was actually driving me to and fro to open mics back when I was 14 starting out. You know, so she had to be there.
What's your favorite part about comedy?
It used to be constructing jokes. Now it's more so connecting with the audience.
Okay.
You know, because you can do the same material, but depending on the night, depending on the audience, it might not hit as hard because you weren't able to connect with them as well as the last audience you just played in front of.
That's right.
Whether that joke works or not, if that connection with that audience is really strong, it can take a really subpar performance and just put it over the top because you found your crowd, and it just happens to be that you connected with 80% of the crowd. So it's going to sound better even if the jokes are a little bit lackluster or low-hanging fruit or whatever the fuck people say nowadays. If it's funny, it's funny.
That's right, man. I appreciate you jumping on the show real quick and telling us a little bit about your story and what you love about comedy. Tell everybody how they can find you and connect with you.
Oh, this is my part to shine. Yeah. Listen, y'all can follow me. Y'all can follow me on all social media platforms. BJ Cramer Comedy. That's BJ Cramer Comedy. Somebody's probably going to put it right here. Follow that.
That's right.
And follow Big Laugh Fort Worth too, man. This is arguably the best club in the doggone state.
There's no argument.
And there's really not an argument because I'm here.
That's right.